Hey everyone, welcome back to the Pandas tutorial for beginners series. In this video, we will explore how to work with rows and columns in Pandas, one of the most common and important parts of data cleaning and transformation. You'll learn how to add new columns, recalculate existing ones, drop rows and columns, and rename columns for better readability. By the end, you'll feel confident manipulating your data frame and creating new metrics for your analysis. Let's get started. And as you can see now, I'm already in my code editor and I have created pandas part5.py file. So let me real quick now place my code snippet that I have prepared. We're going to use this simple data dictionary and we're going to turn it into a data frame. So once again, all of the code that is used in this video will be available in my GitHub repository and you can find the link to it in the video description. Let's now start by first commenting all of those examples so we can start one by one. We're almost there. And okay, now first things first, let's see how our initial data frame works. So we go to our command prompt and type in Python pandas part 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.py and we run it. Let's make that one a bit bigger. And you see we have product, price, quantity, and discount. And here is our entire data frame. That's the initial data frame that we will be using. Let's now go with the first example, aka how to add a column to our data frame. We're going to add the category column, which will be for electronics, accessories, etc., etc. Let's do it. Let me clear that out and let's run the code once again. Okay, so here you see this is our initial data frame. We have 4 columns here, and when we added the column category, we have category at the end for every of our products. Let's see, however, let me clear that out. And let's see if we, for example, remove just one of those, how it will go. Let's try and do it. And it gave us an error. Why? Because the length of values does not match the length of index. Basically, we need to be precise here. We need to, for every entry, when we are adding a new column, we need to make sure that every entry is covered. So let's run it once again. And it is like that. All right, now we can comment on that one. This is not important. Let's go with the second example, how we can recalculate an existing column or create a derived one. So let's clear that out and first explain what we're going to do. We're going to have to create a new column as a total price, which will equal price multiplied by quantity, and discounted price, which will equal total price multiplied by 1 minus the discount. Let's control save and let's do it. Okay, you can see now this is the initial data frame that we have, and here we have the data frame after calculating total price and discounted price. Let me make that larger. You see we have product, price, quantity, discount, total price, and discounted price. We got the total price by multiplying price by quantity, which is 6,000. And we got the discounted price when we multiplied total price by 1 minus the discount, which in this case is 1 minus 0.1, it is 0.9, which is 5400 here, the discounted price. Let's clear that out now that we have understood it. Let's make this once again smaller. And as we're going to use total price and discounted price further into our examples, I'm just going to comment on those two, and our initial data frame will now be the data frame with the discounted price and total price. That's how we're going to do it for the future. Let's now go to the third example and see how we can drop a column. Basically, we're going to drop the discount column. So let's do it. And as you can see here, we have it after we have dropped the discount column. You see what we got. And well, we don't have the initial example. Let me just see. Oops, here we have to uncomment that one. Let's try and run it once again. So we have the two examples. Okay, we have product, price, quantity, discount, total price, and discounted price. Here, that's our, as we have spoke, this will be the initial data frame from now on. And when we scroll down, we see there is no discount here. It is between the quantity and total price, but here there is none. That's how we drop a column with df drop columns equals discount, and we can actually add more columns. Let's, for example, let's say price. Let's clear it and let's run it once again. Yeah, and we did it. We have now dropped the price and discount. We don't have them here. So let's clear that out. Let's make it as it was, and let's comment on that one. Let's now see how to drop a row. We're going to use df.drop index equals 0. So this will be the first row. And that's the initial data frame. And here we already don't have the first index, which is index number 0. We don't have the laptop. Here we have a laptop, but here we don't have a laptop. That is how we can drop a row. Let's try it now. For example, let's say index number 2. Let's clear that out and let's run it once again. You see we have index 0, the laptop, 1, and we immediately go to number 3. We don't have the tablet. We have dropped the tablet. So let's clear it out. Let's make that to be 0 once again. And let's comment it. Let's now see how we can rename columns. So how this is done, basically, we use .rename, and columns has to be a dictionary where the key is the initial name of the column and the value is going to be the new name. So we're going to rename price to be unit price and quantity to be unit sold. Control save and let's do it. All right, you see here the initial data frame, we have price and quantity. When we rename the columns, we have unit price and unit sold. This does not change the entries. It's still 1205, the first one 1205. So let's now clear that one and let's comment those. And let's get to the practical example, which will be the last example that we have here, where we're going to add a new metric, revenue per unit. So revenue per unit will equal, for this example, the discounted price divided by the quantity. And we're going to print only the product, discounted price, and revenue per unit columns. Let's run it And you can see here, when we added the new metric, revenue per unit, we have only the product, the discounted price, and the revenue per unit. And that's it for this video. Now you know how to add and recalculate columns, drop unnecessary data, and rename columns to keep your data frame clean and organized. These are key building blocks for data transformation and analysis in Pandas. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.